welcome to News Weekly. So my name's Dan.
And you're joined by Luke. You probably don't recognise me after a long time, but I am back to FRCA News Weekly with Dan. How's everyone doing?
It's great to have you, Luke.
Thank you.
So, what I want to say first is if you kind of caught last week's News Weekly, we thought we would take it down because we didn't think it was appropriate and it was going with the guidelines. We kind of just thought that it would be okay, but then we looked and were like, we maybe need a bit more distance, so that's why we have got a distance now. And the other thing is obviously the last two videos we've been using, they're called lav mics, and obviously we're having a bit of technical issues because that's what we have. So we've gone back to these mics. It's really weird to have my hand back here. But we're going to start off with the news. From the news. So do you want to tell us about this story? It's an absolutely great story. And when was looking for something before I was recording, before we started, I was like, this is the one that we need. So do you want to talk about it, Luke?
Indeed, I shall. So even though we have amongst all the chaos in the news at the moment across the UK, this story really shed a positive light, I think, into still all the good that can happen, I think, even during this pandemic. So in Hull, we have a Hull mum from East Hull who has had a child called Jacob and over the last 5 years has been chemotherapy free. That's incredible, I think. But it's not just that, that's remarkable, I think. What's remarkable is she started a charity venture called Cakes for Heroes, where just to put smiles back on young people's faces who've gone through either leukemia like Jacob has or any form of cancer, which is incredible.
And this is the thing, right? He is 5 years free of leukemia, and I think that is great, like in this time, to hear that story as well. And you know what, it's great to hear that a kid who's been battling with leukemia has like come out the bright side. I think it's just great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's honestly, it's one of those stories that either just sheds a tear or it's just ultra inspiring. That's my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. So, is there anything else you want to say about that story? Is there anything else on there? You've got, obviously, we saw that there was a statement from her. Do you want to read that out, maybe? Because that was really encouraging, what she said.
Yeah, so going back again about her charity venture, so it's just to double say, it's Cakes for Heroes it's called, and we just talked about her mission, but from the Hull Daily Mail, they received a quote from her actually about why she's been doing what she's doing. So she said she wants to reach children all over the country just to give them a bespoke cake that's just for them. You know, who doesn't like a treat, Daniel?
Yeah, and obviously when you're going through bad times like these kids are going through, I think it just gives them just a massive smile that there's someone out there thinking about them and bringing them a gift. Because, like, we've found in this time, like, obviously having contact is so important to us as humans and as people. And without that, it's kind of like we've had that separation, and them bringing the cakes to these kids and to these young people is just a great thing, because to them it brings them a little bit of warmth and a little bit of excitement. Yeah,
definitely can't go wrong with a sweet tooth. We all sometimes have that sweet tooth, and even better when it's just to put a smile back on kids' faces. So as I said earlier, this woman Joanne started that charity venture based from inspiration from her mother's cake baking, pretty much. So how she actually got hooked on it was from her own mother's business called Mama's Cakes to Go, which sounds like something that just transcended, I think.
I mean, I would love a cake. Now I'm starving.
What's your favourite cake, Dan?
Oh, it's kind of between...
I love a good Madeira sponge. I'll just put it that way.
Cheesecake and the red one. What's it called? Red velvet cake.
Yeah.
I'll hit the cable.
Beat me to it.
But what we'll do is, if we can find the link to her business, if she's got a website or something, we'll link it down below so you can maybe check it out and give them a bit of support.
And also, for comments below, guys, tell us what your favourite cake is.
Yeah, tell us what your favourite cake is. So we're going to be moving along for this story, but I just think this is an absolutely really great story in this time as well, and we're not just saying that. So the next thing we're going to talk about is colleges have finally, and schools have finally gone back. I was back at college last Thursday and I had all my practical stuff. So I had singing, acting and dance, and I was absolutely knackered.
Gotta say, it really can't be easy with the face masks.
The face masks, like, totally we've got to wear, like, the face masks. Like, talk about that. We haven't got our face masks on now because we're sat down We're keeping, I think it's a bit more than 2 metres, maybe 2 metres. It definitely is because we counted that. But this is the thing, like, because we're in the 2 metres and we're trying to do this, like we said at the beginning, is we're trying our best to keep our distance so we can take our mask off and bring the content to you. But at college, it is really important to be wearing your masks because now they're saying that visors don't give you protection and not to wear them at college because they don't fully protect you as masks do. But to dance, it's so hard to do it. And I'm like, I just want to take this off. But then I remember in my head that it's keeping me safe. And I've just, we've just got to suck it up,
Yeah, it's not even just that thing. What's also still important to consider is, as far as it being tough on students like you, Dan, to go through college and go through, especially performing arts or anything like physical courses like that, be it sport even as well. Like, to be wearing face masks while doing practical lessons must be... It's just a different ballgame,
I mean, I'm a drummer. You probably know on this channel. I hate wearing masks when I drum because I get so hot and struggle to breathe that I kind of panic and but at the same time, I've got to remember that, it protects me. But at church, you know what? I'm all good to not wear one. Because I'm in a cage, so I've got a massive mask around me. But yeah, do you know what? It's so great to be back at college, at schools, and I think it's so important that we are back because everybody needs their education. Importantly for year 11s, because it is a big year. For me, I was a year 11 once, you was, Jack was, and it's probably one of the most important years because...
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yes, grades don't... say who you are as a person, but it does give you a little bit of a helping hand getting into a course or later as a job. So it is an important thing to a year 11.
So probably even just, the way I'd put it even, grades are advantageous in the sense that it can set you up for prospects, careers, stuff like that. But what's important, I think, grades do not define you as a person.
Yeah, that's great. That's great, Lou. And that's what my mum always says to me is when I was actually on GC, I know I'm moving quickly a bit away, but she said to me, whatever grade you get, it doesn't matter. You're still going to do great in life. I'm dyslexic. I struggle in lessons. Jack does. I think you'll see you're one of the better readers here of us all. I would say. But I think it is honestly a really important thing. I think even for yourself to get that achievement. And obviously it has been really hard this year because of COVID and government had to make some really difficult decisions. But yeah, so I just think it's great that we're back.
Yeah, we're making our way out. And for those who probably catch the video before it got taken down, we're on our roadmap out of lockdown, fingers crossed.
Yeah, so if you as well, just quickly going on with that, if you did see the video, we are going to be doing a redo of that social distance, me and Jack, or Luke and Jack, whatever. I'm going to be redoing that roadmap because it's really important, and I think because it's a little bit more broken down for us as youth. Like for me, I'm not going to go and look at it, but if someone's talking about it who's our age, I'm going to listen, and it's really, really important. So what we're going to do is we're now going to move on and we're going to be talking about our unit with a little bit of an update. Do you want to talk a little bit about that update for us, Luke?
Indeed. So, guys, for those who've been keeping tuned with the channel so far, it's been speculated and now it's more or less certain, we are going to be relocating where we're based. So currently we've been in the unit for the last few months, at least since July, August, last summer. And very soon, come by the 1st of April, within the next month, we are going to be moving downstairs to another space.
Yeah, so we're going to be moving into a bigger place. Like we said last time, it's going to have a recording studio and it's going to be a rehearsal room as well. We're going to be able to have a film studio that we can have set up and be able to bring better content out for you guys.
Indeed, and what's even better is the actual rooms are split off with just panes, really, aren't they? Just like windows. So we can keep things separate in different rooms and just have different setups.
Yeah, so there's windows and there's walls, and this is going to be the great thing for me. We're going to have our own podcast studio where we can have it set up and we can just come in when we record. And I think it'll be great because we'll have our own areas to do so. Do you know what I'm really excited about? And I said this last time, The Office, because I just think it's going to be nice to have somewhere where we can work together as a team and be able to get more creative ideas.
And put the operations together in one place. Under one roof and under one unit, being Unit 2.0, I'll call it.
And the other thing, I think this unit has been absolutely great, but it's not, I personally don't think it's big enough for what we want it for. Like, we want to run, like, maybe acoustic nights or quick kind of band night things at the new unit. We can do it downstairs because there's a massive space for us to do that. So I can't wait for our move, and I can't wait for the new kind of setups and what we can do and be very creative with it.
Yeah, and plus, guys, we may even give you a preview of what it looks like. So stay tuned.
So that is one of the things, quickly, before we do finish this news weekly, is once we get in and once we do some videos out there, we are going to be doing a tour of the place. So we're going to kind of, me, Jack and Luke, hopefully, we're going to kind of all kind of do a room each, talk about the rooms, talk about our space, our new setups, how we're doing it, what we're thinking about it. And this will be probably a couple of weeks after we've settled down in there. And we've got loads of other great plans to come ahead. So stay tuned. And don't forget to follow us on social media. That will be down below in our link tree. Our podcast is down there. If you haven't checked out our recent podcast, check them out. This has been great being back.
Indeed it has.
So I think we're on that time, aren't we?
Indeed.
So yeah, so I've been Dan.
And I've been Luke.
And keep safe, keep wearing your mask, keep doing your 2 meters, and we'll see you next week at 4 o'clock for News Weekly. And you have been watching News Weekly.